Thank you so much for taking a look at this. My name is Paul Reimers, and I've been teaching the Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop for over 10 years. I studied with Drimbalo Melchizedek, the creator of this workshop, 3 times, including one time when he certified me to teach his work. In addition to this, I write and I teach my own classes and workshops, everywhere from 2 hours up to 4 days, subjects ranging from sacred geometry, alchemy, subtle energy work, shadow work, things like that. But one of the reasons that I love the Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop so much is it's a 4-day intensive that goes so deep into some core areas like healing and expanding your subtle senses to getting extra guidance to help create and manifest what you'd like to in your life, as well as activating sort of dormant energetic potentials within yourself, including the Merkaba. One of the things that we activate in the workshop is called the prana tube. And what this is a conduit that allows us to connect to higher dimensional energy. And in fact, we can tune it to anywhere from the 4th dimensional level to the 144th dimensional level. And each different energy has different qualities and different benefits and different uses. In addition to that, we can then imprint it with unique qualities of emotional energy. And this can be a very potent combination for doing healing work for ourselves or for others. And one of the ways that I like to use the prana tube is whenever I work out. Every time I work out, I'm practicing flowing the energy and using that to help power the workout. And what's cool about this is I get a dual benefit, because not only am I able to get better workouts because there's more available energy, but I'm actually able to use this as a way of practicing using that energy flow intentionally. So every workout that I do ends up being like a moving form of Qigong. So there are 2 very powerful sound healing sessions in this workshop. One is actually a form of rebirthing and helps us reset the timelines from when we were in utero to the current moment. The other one uses a combination of music and sacred geometry to sort of let go of any old imprints, any density, any stuff we're carrying that's not ours. And by doing this helps us move on in our lives, but also helps make it easier to move from the head to the heart. There's a lot of talk about people being in their heart and living from the heart. And this is so beautiful and powerful, but a lot of times it is said in a very general way, where maybe the person is centered in their head, but they have a lot of awareness of their heart. And this is beautiful, and this is so important. But in this workshop, what we do is we learn to focus our awareness into a point and then move that point of awareness through the body. And what we do then is we go into 2 distinct, very powerful energy fields within the heart, within the physical heart itself. One is called the sacred space of the heart. It is the home of our personal Akashic records, and every lifetime we've ever lived can be accessed there. Another point within the human heart is called the tiny space of the heart. And this is a non-dual field. And when we move into that space, in that state, in that place, we're not separate from anyone or anything. And what this means is that we connect with our angels, with guides, with ascended masters, spiritual figures, historical figures, loved ones who've passed on, with a very high degree of clarity, because in this space, we are not separate from anyone or anything. This is also where we go to do the creation process. When we create from the heart, we create from this non-dual field, and it is much more powerful than the traditional brain-based ways of teaching manifestation. Another process we do in the workshop is activation of the beams of light. These are energy centers on the head, and this process comes from the Maya and the Huna traditions. And this has a number of different benefits, including sort of unifying consciousness, sort of getting to a more unified state, more of sort of unpolarized consciousness in a sense. It also helps with intuition, and it's half of what needs to be in place for the creation process to happen, because the creation process is really the heart and the head coming together to create in a new way. And for the heart, we are in the tiny space of the heart, and the head, we activate the beams. So one of the key parts of this workshop is the creation process, learning to create from the heart. When we do this, we move our consciousness into the tiny space of the heart, and we then do this physiological process where we're just seated in meditation. We have a mask on, but then there's a light in our inner vision. And this normally takes decades to get to with other meditative practices. But without any light coming into our eyes, we see a light in our inner vision. We feel this elevated state of joy and bliss. And what's happening really within our brain is very high levels of alpha brainwaves are happening. And this culminates in a light in our inner vision, this brilliant light. And then that light shifts into geometries. And this leads to the third eye opening and the halo lighting. And then from that state of being, then we create. And there's a very powerful process that we then get from that state of being, manifest things into our outer experience. A lot of times when we're seeking to create something in our lives, it's because we feel like we'd feel much better, like we feel okay, but we feel really happy and good if we got this external thing. But the thing with the creation process, though, is that when we learn to do it in this way, we generate this joy and this bliss from nothing. We're just seated in meditation. We just learn to generate that within ourselves. That takes a lot of the pressure off of things needing to come into our experience to help us feel better. But paradoxically, that tends to speed manifestation a lot more because we're not desperate. We're not trying to reach out for these things as a way to feel better because we can just feel amazing whenever we choose. And by doing this, it tends to accelerate manifestation, as well as sidestepping a lot of the other limitations and hindrances that come from purely brain-based methods of creation. Okay, and finally, I'd like to talk just a little bit about the Merkaba. The Merkaba has been written about in different spiritual writings, different spiritual texts, lots in metaphysical circles and New Age circles, and everyone has different takes on it, different qualities that they focus on about it. But really what it is in the first image of this video, when we're talking about the prana tube, the star tetrahedrons, that is the dormant form of the Merkaba. But in this workshop, we wake that up. So everyone has a seed form of it. There's a process we do on day 4 that activates it. And what it is a large, powerful energy field. It's 55 to 60 feet in diameter with a lot of energy flowing through it. This tends to act as a catalyst to help us create change in our lives. It has a very powerful purpose in terms of ascension, in terms of shifting dimensional levels. When people pass on who have an activated Merkaba, there's the aspect of being able to take your memories with you, which is very important. That's a key part of several different forms of alchemy. But also, too, in addition to all of these very, sort of transcendental concepts of the Merkaba, one of the other things that's powerful on a day-to-day basis is that it's a programmable field. So the field that you activate, you can program it to emit certain qualities of energy where your field can feel the way you choose it to be by putting these programs in. In addition to that, you can sort of define what sort of qualities of energy you don't prefer to experience, and it will just flow around your Merkaba or to be transmuted by it. And I've had so many people who have taken the workshop who are either energetically sensitive or empaths, very emotionally sensitive, and said that this changes everything for them because they finally have the control to define what quality of energy they feel in their own field. In addition to that, once we activate our Merkaba, we have the ability to create external Merkabas on our vehicle, anything we're, an airplane that we're traveling in, or if you are a practitioner doing energy sessions for people, you can create a external Merkaba in your treatment room or your workspace, or if you're teaching in your classroom, whatever you'd like to do. But then you can sort of define the qualities of energy in that space, and you can shift it very quickly. So different clients, different classes can be the energy to support them. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at this video. I hope that this answers some questions for you. I would encourage you to scroll down the page and read the written description that I put as well. At the bottom of this page, there's a Q&A section with common questions and answers. If you still have questions after this, please, you can reach out to me via email at the link at the bottom of the page. And if this resonates strongly with you and you're just excited and you just want to take the workshop, you can click on the page for upcoming classes and workshops to see upcoming online and in-person workshops find what works for you, what resonates with you. You can read more and then register. So take care, and thank you so much for taking the time to check this out.